Hello, party people. I mentioned this before that I was gonna have a writing like non-fiction autobiographically, if that's a word. And this is me writing fictionally for the most part. It's based on a true story, just like the message says on the top. The book is still overall fictional though. This say it's all fictional, whatever. So I'm not gonna say which X this is based on. It's a multitude of my experiences. Let's say up until I should look that up. Where's the I don't know what year I started writing this, but it's been sitting, and I haven't touched it in about a couple years. I might have backed it up when I was saving stuff, but this is all fairly new to me because like it was just a long time ago. So it is 10 pages long so far, double spaced, so basically 5 pages single space. I will pause the screen to read some of the dialogue, but for like the voice of the protagonist in their mind, that will be that would not be read because it's just too much to get through. I will pause it though, like I said, if you want to pause the video and read some of it. I don't mind. I do have some other ideas for fictional stories, books, but I don't want anyone to steal my ideas. No, it is partly that, but mostly I don't think they're good enough to share yet. Some of them literally are still in the planning phase. Another one is like started, I guess, maybe. But anyway, let's move along here. Oh, I forgot to announce this. The title of this fictional book is Hunny and Money Honey. Notice the difference in spellings. Oh, I'll read this one. This is my forward, if you want to call it that. This is a story all about how my life got twisted upside down. No, seriously though, I think the lyric does it justice. I've been through many of relationships in my life, serious ones, quite a few. I like to think so. This semi-autobiographical book is about all of them, possibly even future ones. We'll see though. Don't get it twisted though. I would say 90% of this entire story from front to back is fictional. That remaining 10% is inspired, but not based on true events. You ever notice when someone asks a guy how many women he has been with, he'll include all the women he has both slept with and been in a relationship with? I'm not sure a woman would reply the same way. Would they only count the ones they were in a relationship with? I'm not a woman. It'd be an even more interesting book if I was, but I'm not. All I know is me. This is a sort of a story about how I met her, the woman I love, the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Her name is ... question mark. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what her name is. The point is that I found her. She might not have found me yet, but I know she's out there somewhere. Hell, she might even have been mentioned in this book. Kids, this is a story of how I met your mother. I'm just kidding. Is that reference even relevant anymore by the time this book is published? I'm writing this book in a very vulnerable state. At least that's how I remember it. Life makes love hard, question mark. That's sort of a paraphrase of a Taylor Swift song. Yeah, I ended up marrying Taylor Swift. This is what the book is about. What? I'm dead serious. I'm just keeping it 100. This is why ebonics and certain lingo only work in certain aspects of communication in society. I don't know how long was that? That was like maybe a minute or two. I just reading the entire 10 pages doesn't motivate me. But anyway, here is chapter 1. I will pause it. You can pause the video during this break. If you want to read it so far, if you steal my ideas and this copyright will come get you, you'll get a copyright strike on your fake YouTube channel. Oh, did I show the bottom part? I don't think I did. Okay, so here's the bottom part of chapter 1, page 1. Here is page 2. So now we get into some dialogue, right? So I'll read some of this. Hold on, I'm just trying to see where to start. Alright, I've broken that 30-second rule. It's time to make my move. If it works, then great, but if it doesn't, then it's not the end of the world. There are plenty of fish in the sea. That's what people say to make themselves feel better. Damn it, I need to think of something to say instead of having my wander. What would be best? Hi, how are you? That sounds a little too formal. Where's a good place to get food this late? I sort of don't want to sound like a fatty. A round of drinks for us, bartender. This would get the bartender away, which is critical to capturing her attention. But then again, what are my monetary funds tonight? I didn't go out tonight expecting to meet anyone. Life must be funny like that. Hi, I just moved here. Do you know anywhere interesting I should go out to now? Or go to now? Now that I am a new resident. That could work. It's a little long, but it's perfectly honest. So then, the fictional protagonist, who is deemed as Funny Honey, will finally meet and talk to Money Honey. Hi, I just moved here. Do you know anywhere interesting I should go to now that I'm a new resident? So the protagonist decides on that. Then we move on into chapter 2. So basically, here's the part where they exchange numbers and stuff. One was, it was a pleasure talking to you. Do you want to exchange numbers? Because I'd like to talk to you again some more. I said on a limb. Well, sir, it was a pleasure talking to you too. Normally, I don't hand out my number in a bar. She paused. My heart sank for an instant that felt like an eternity. Suddenly, she said, and restored my hopes. I think I can make an exception, though, she joked with a smile. So, obviously, these chapters are not developed yet. This is what I thought of so far. Obviously, they need to be fleshed out and, extended, because, like, in a real book, this would be, like, what? Maybe, like, 2 pages, single space. Let me, go through here. I'll pause again so you can read the whole page here. Or pause your screen so you can read the whole page. I was preparing to send this text. Hey, this is me from the bar the other night. We exchanged numbers. I was wondering if you want to hang out. As soon as I hit the send button for that text, believe it or not, she sent me a text at the same exact time. I shit you not. I heard the sound for a message sent and received at the same time. Herb said, hey, this is me from the bar wondering what you've been up to since we last met. Do you want to do something this weekend? When both our messages were sent, we had a good laugh and texted each other at the same time. What were the odds of that? Now we're going to move on to chapter 4. Again, pausing the screen for you. No, you can't do that in open office. So this is just like a segue, where like you didn't hear the whole story, you just hear what happened. That's amazing. And you're telling me he has never looked at Girl Scout cookies the same way? Yeah, that's a crazy story about one of my exes. This was the female speaking. This woman was funny. She was attractive. I was finding it hard to find anything wrong with her. So now they're gonna... There was a moment I was not looking forward to in the conversation because it was an issue in the past. What do you do for a living? She asked. Well, I pondered my response patiently. I dabble in being a car mechanic. I want to open up my own garage one day. Until then, I find odd jobs here and there, and I work in sometimes various shops around here. I don't want you to get bored with my ramblings, though. I stopped. What do you do? I'm sort of a doctor/cancer research scientist, she said meekly. It almost like sounded she wasn't proud of it, oddly enough. Wow, I exclaimed. I was sort of speechless. Sounds like good money. It is. I'm happy with my life situation right now, even if I don't have a husband and kids yet. I believe there's more to life than that. I think the protagonist says, I agree, I said as I lifted my wine glass to the celebration of life. I'll cheers to that, she replied as she smiled. Okay, so they're going to dinner now. Okay, so they're talking a little bit more. Yeah, I've always liked this place, as in where they're having dinner. I feel like it would be a good place to have a first date, especially with anniversaries. Oh, haha, listen to me. I must be jumping the gun and scaring you off. Well, there's a few things women can do to truly scare me off, I replied. But if you're crazy, then I'm going to pack up and go here. I made a fake motion to get up from the table and look for the exit. She laughed. Her laughter was contagious. It sounded like she was trying not to laugh too loud or even at all. So I hope I pause the screen enough for you guys. Here it is. So we're getting towards the end of what I have so far, which again is not fleshed out at all. Let me see what a good place to start is. Awkward. The check came. My heart sank. Haha. I motioned for it, and she snatched it away like a hawk. I didn't know what to say. I was a little stunned at first. I couldn't remember the last date I had where I wasn't expected to pay. How rich is she? I thought to myself with a smile. It wasn't that I couldn't afford it. It was just that I would probably have to spend no money until my next check. Yes, surviving paycheck to paycheck is not good. I was sort of turned on. Seriously though, she didn't think twice about this. Was I just some poor guy she was hanging out with? Was she slumming around with this poor man? I wondered if she would become a blow to my confidence. What are you doing? I inquired with a grin. Me? I'm taking care of business. She retorted with a laugh. I finally found my sugar mama. Very clever. This was a brief momentary silence where my mind wandered a little bit. What are you smiling about? She asked. You never went on a date with a woman that paid the bill? Not necessarily, but if you're all about the independent woman and bills, then that's all you, I replied laughing. You better learn that about me right away if you want this to develop into anything like a relationship. She half jokingly and half seriously said, This. What does she mean by this? She doesn't seem crazy. It's not like she's planning out our entire future, or at least I hope not. Don't get me wrong. I've had long relationships before, and they lasted their course. It wasn't like I was afraid of commitment either. I did not want to make the same mistakes in the past, that's all. We talked a little bit more while the check was finalized. I found myself getting lost in her eyes. And the weirdest part was that I was captivated by the conversation as well. Typically, I thought I'd be zoning out by staring at her boobs, but there was just something very alluring about her. I didn't want to scare her off by saying something, but I was very much looking forward to spending more time with her. It's amazing what a good date can do for someone's spirits. And this is page 10. It looks like I stopped on chapter 5. So here's the latest. We've been on a few days. We haven't decided on being exclusive, but yet, what? Would I want to be? I guess I wouldn't mind. I'm not sure. Just like anyone. I've been hurt a few times in the past, as many as the next guy. It's just the nature of the beast. Now, as you know, especially in books, typically books that do not have pictures or sketchings, there's always, I shouldn't say always, there's usually something controversial that affects the story very importantly, and I have one for this already. And if I look at my notes here, you can't see it, but you damn right you can't see it because it's my ideas. I'll go out with Hunny and Money Honey in my little external hard drive here. Okay, so I'm gonna read this as normal as I can make it sound. Now keep in mind, I started this book years ago, so this is not something based on the Omega trolling or the girl voices or the cross dressers, whatever. This is something I thought of years ago. So wow, I didn't know I made it so weird like this. So I guess after some time passes, I don't know how involved the relationship is or how strong it is, but Money Honey reveals she has cancer after meeting with Funny Honey and noticing she's bald recently. That's one possible twist of 3. The second one is Money Honey reveals she was born a man. Funny Honey accepts her for who she is, not what she is. But this is going on to number 3, which could be independent of all these. Is money an incentive into pursuing and continuing this relationship? So this is just some possible things I thought of. It could be 2 out of 3. It could be 3 out of 3. It doesn't necessarily have to be 1 out of 3. But I feel like especially the second one, where Funny Honey had to transition to a female gender. Is that enough? Is that so-called shocking enough? I don't know. I'm working on it, so CouldveBeen Crazier is taking priority, though. Of course, that's way more fleshed out in this so far. Fleshed out. Alright, guys. So that was one of my fictional books. Funny Hunny and Money Honey. Otherwise, there was also Extra Sensory. If you guys want to look that up, that'd be great. See, I can do this with my arms out. I used to never be able to do this. Okay, guys. Let me know what you think if you want. Because I haven't worked on this in so long, I'm pretty open to any criticism, whether it's constructive or not. To be honest, I'm going for like a very modern kind of book with this fictional story. Now, is this very much based on my Vegas ex? I mean, you could say that. I mean, you will never know the details, but I'll let you know. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. Gotta find the exit button. Where's the exit button?